written a fascinating piece today in the online magazine Unheard, in which you say Trump has spearheaded the racial depolarisation of voting behaviour in America. Could you unpack that for us?
Well, I think what we've seen here is a truly historic election, and I think a piece that I authored for Unheard made the point that I believe that the Democratic Party, especially its candidate in this presidential election, Kamala Harris, taken ethnic minority communities in the US for granted. And I think you can see there, for example, when it comes to the Hispanic population, some incredible gains. One particular example which springs to mind is Starr County on the Texas-Mexico border, which Trump won, 97 to 98% Hispanic, which is quite an incredible result.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is striking because, of course, the Democrats and commentators, journalists, everyone made a big thing about how Donald Trump had insulted the entire Hispanic community, particularly that rather crass joke.
It was
from
a crass
that,
joke, yeah.
About Puerto Rico from that,
Being an island of
that
garbage
comedian I'd never heard of anyway. And, of course, all the talk about the border and all of that. But actually, Hispanics came out and voted for him. Why do you suppose that is?
Well, I think they care about border security, like many other American citizens. I'd also make the point that there's a social conservatism which runs deep in many Hispanic communities. Now, the Hispanic population is admittedly diverse in terms of country of origin and migratory background, but many have very strong Christian values, specifically Roman Catholic beliefs. So when it comes to matters of sanctity of life, which include abortion and euthanasia, but also issues such as marriage, they're quite different, if truth be told, to the sort of radical cultural liberalism which prevails in the Democratic Party.
So the assumption that many have made on the left, both in the States and here, that ethnic minority voters will increasingly vote to the left is not necessarily true. But do you think this will play out in the same way in the UK? I mean, you know, yes, some communities do vote Conservative in this country, but most ethnic minorities vote Labour. Do you think that is something that will change? Is there a different dynamic here?
Well, I think we have different ethnic minority communities. We have to acknowledge the diversity within the ethnic minority population, both in the US and the UK. But I think that what Donald Trump has done, he's provided a blueprint of sorts, a sort of multiracial populism. It's quite remarkable because he's often caricatured as a far-right extremist, but actually his multiracial populism is the perfect antidote to that sort of far-right ethno-nationalism, which is often accused of. In the UK, I think that the Conservative Party, in recent times, it's struggled to build those ties with more socially conservative migrant communities, and that's something that should be part of its rebuilding strategy, I think.
What do you